everyone, welcome to a new video. And it's November. It means outside lots and lots of rain, so I thought I'll pick an image that reflects the way it looks outside. But this video is not about the weather. This video is about an interesting project called testproject.io. And I want to show you guys why it's interesting, so why it could be interesting for testers who want to pick up automation in their projects quite easily. So they can just use this tool and start test automating right away without any scripting knowledge. Very interesting for that group, but also for the group that's more into coded test automation. So you can use code to create your test automation. You can also do mobile automation, and you can also do API testing. So full feature set without any cost to start. Very interesting. Let's dive into the video. So guys, let's get to it. Let me first open up the website, the test project. Here it is. So this is the home page, and you can select your projects from here, the menu at the left side. And here you have your tests, a couple of them already there, and here you have your jobs. So if you create tests, then you can drag and drop them to the jobs. As you can see now, I'm dragging and dropping couple of tests into the job. Here you see the couple of tests in the job, and then you can just simply click here and start running. Okay, so let's first, so if you want to start, then first make sure you have an agent on your machine already. So you can do that by clicking on the agents, and then you have an overview based on your account. So at this moment there are no agents running in ready state for me. I've already set up agent on this machine. So it's installed in my home directory. It's a Linux machine. I could just run test project agent and test project agent. It's taking a little while, and then it's starting. So in Linux you see the pop-up here and some information on the right bottom hand side as well soon. And I would imagine that the agent will come online in a couple of seconds. As you can see now, the agent is ready at this moment. So that's a preparation step you need to do before you create your test. And before we start, I also want to show you what the system under test is. It's the Saucedemo.com, and you have here the users you can use, and I'm just going to use the standard user, and the password is there, secret sauce. And just order an item that's here and just check out, right? So for example, this one, and you have here it in your cart, check out, very simple, test. So, okay, finish, and you will have the pony. So when I'm recording my script in the recorder, I will click elements. Why? So I can later enhance my script. So for example, the pony, I will click the image of the pony so that the script recorder has it in its object store, and then I can do assertions on it. So that's very maybe a pro tip before you get started with your recording. So this is done, and I just can log out, right? So, but it's very simple application, and I want to create a very simple script to just go through the screens and just finish it. One interesting thing as well, that test project has brought AI to test automation, and what it helps, it will help you. How does it help? So they elaborate here when recording a test and when executing a test. So in two ways it will help your script improvement. So great job guys, and I already saw that it was triggered by some action I did. I fixed an object in the wrong way, and the AI saved me there. and it showed alert that it was intervening with the AI. So okay, I think it's working okay. But at this moment, 2020, it's still very premature, of course, the use of AI in test automation. But just let's get started with the script. And to do so, let's add a new test. Web, next, swag store. So select an application. If you don't have that application already, then you can add the plus sign here. You just need to enter a URL and give it a name. Very easy. For me, I'm gonna hit record, and then it says start testing, but the button's name is start recording. And now it's gonna pop up a window, a Chrome window, and I will have it. I move it to this view so you can see it. So it was popping up, but on my second monitor. And let me see if it's recording. Yes, it's already recording. And you can pause it here, and you can see all the steps you do here. I will delete this one. And click it away, and then say standard user secret sauce login. And let me just double check if it's recording all right. Yeah, so it's recording. So you see the greens are values you add, or objects, I mean. And let's just browse here. See it. Add it to the cart. It's added to the cart, and then go to the cart and say, well, okay, check out. Test. Some numbers there. Continue. Yeah, finish. And like I mentioned, hit that Pony Express just to have like a check, or maybe you can even click here for thank you for your order. So I think it's done now at this moment, and pause it, and I see, well, it's added a lot, so I think it's okay. Let me just validate it, see if the rack and play experience is okay. I'm now replaying. So straightforward, right? So it's running okay, and I can now close this one off. So as you can see, it's very straightforward. You can create your tests and enhance the tests as well. So what I want to do now is show you an API test. And for the API test, I work with a blog post by the test project themselves. Put it in a new tab. No, there's a wrong one. So this is the right one. It's about API testing and getting some data from NASA about meteors, and then calling a URL based on the first URL response, and then going further and further in your API testing. For the sake of this video and the brevity of it, I just want to show you like 2 URLs, and if you want, you can follow along, of course, with the tutorial and just create your API test. So of course I will have the links in the description below. Let's head over back to the test project and add a new test. Web, next, NASA meteor test. Nope. Make it API test. I've also added the NASA application already. and I think it's edit, start editing. I think that's the easiest way. If you click record there, it will launch your browser, and then you will have to close the browser, etc. So this is the best way, I think. And the first URL you can just delete there. And then you need to add steps. Okay, and then choose what kind of step. It's an action. What kind of action? It's HTTP GET. HTTP GET request. Yeah, so it takes a couple of parameters. The first one is URI, and then query, and then expected status. It's 200. I already filled it in. What you're basically doing in this API test, following the tutorial, is calling this URL with the demo key, and there's a lot of JSON data coming back. And what you want to do is filter out the JSON. For that I use JSON path. So they also have the information, of course, in the tutorial of what kind of JSON path you use, etc. But for now, I just want to show you how I would normally do it myself. So this is one big string, so just one big string. And as you can see in the tutorial, JSON path, here is highlighted what kind of JSON path you use. So if we would paste that in, copy, paste, it would match this number. Let me zoom in a little bit. So just this number, and you will use this number because it's a dynamic identifier, and then use it later on to like compute your own URL for the second request. That's basically all that's going on. Okay, let's get back to the test project. I'll close this tabs. Okay, the URL, we have it. And then the query is a part of the API key, demo key. Headers you can ignore, that's fine. And the response, you create a new parameter, server response. Zoom in a little bit small. Okay, add, and the JSON path, of course. Create. So now this is the first URL, and then I will add the second URL. So similar to the first one. HTTP GET. URL is basically the same, but you will have like call a specific neo and add that server response in there as a parameter. Okay, query will be same, API key. Expect also 200. So that's just for this one. So I have two URLs, one calling the other. If you look at the tutorial, they will go further and further, but for this demonstration, I think let's keep it simple, and this is it. Let's run this Meteor API test. You will be able to select where you want to run it. Run it on Chrome, headless. You can also, you see blinking here, the monitor. So you can keep an eye on the test, and you see here it's running on Silverstone machine, running there, progress 50%. So now it's done. Let's check back. Looks okay. You can browse here to the results. There you go. So this test is very quick, and checking HTTP 200 is not sufficient, of course, normally, but you can of course enhance it the way you want. But it's just showing you how simple it is to create the demo. Okay, and now going back to the test I had. So the swag store, you could, like, if you click on it, then you have the editor. For example, you want to check if the username is even existing before you click it, right? So how you can do that is add a step, select the element, username, click, and the action, and then you have all these predefined actions available to you, and I would say visible. And you could click if visible. Okay, so if you don't have the community add-in at this moment, then you can just install it. And so it's very cool that they also show the components that are not installed yet on this specific project. Yep. Okay, create. And it's pasted below, so you do have to move it up where you want it. So it's just one example of how you can enhance your tests. Let me just remove that old one, delete. Right, and the same you can do with clicking the image, for example, and you can just validate if the image is there or not. Okay, and you can also do the thank you for your order heading, so you can validate that in a similar manner. So, yeah, the demo time, let me just run the script once and do it, yeah, why not in Firefox. Run it. So it takes a couple of seconds, and the Firefox browser will open on my other monitor. Move it here quickly, and now it will run the test. There you go, it's run. If you would, for example, want to create like an API and a web test combined, you can do it as well. Give this one to Chrome, why not? Great. And if you drop test 1 and the meteor test in there as well, you can run these two as a job. So job execution has started already. Well, similarly to running it in the other way, now it's 2 tests are running. So 1 API test and 1 web test. That's done. And now it has its report. So as you can see, very simple, very straightforward to get started. So one other thing that was very interesting, and it was the possibility to export the test you created. So if you click here and you can click on the generated code, it will download a zip file for you of Java based, in this case Java based version of the code. So here you have source test, generated test demo, and then here this one. There's a very cool way. Nice that they try to also alleviate some of the coding barriers, maybe even for a lot of testers. So this is cool as well. So wouldn't it be cool if you like just run this test now? And that's exactly what I was planning to do and show you guys. So tester tech wouldn't be tester tech if we didn't show you some code at least. So here you go. I unpacked the zip file and I opened it up in IntelliJ. Very simple, straightforward. You see here the same files as I just showed you. So you do have a RESTful API client. Standard, very cool that they do it like this. Some utils. And here the NASA Meteor API test. So the endpoint here, they also have the web driver. I think this is the link to the test project, my specific test project, probably. The token here. And yeah, the NASA Meteor API test. So one thing I did notice, however, that, let me just put a couple of enters here to, it's a very long line. Okay, here you see JSON path, it's a double $sign. So I'm not sure why. Could be a slight bug or something like that. I don't know. Love to hear from you guys why it's like that. Let me just remove it and see if I can right click and run this guy. So it is opening a web browser. So this technically there's something happening, so that's okay. It compiles and it's running. So that's always the first step to take, right? So it's okay. And then it failed with an exception. And the error is here. It says cannot set int field to IO-project add-on RESTful API client status to Java long string. And if you drill down here, you see the test line 55. This is that one. This is the execute get action, and yeah, the add-ons helper clause. So line 143. So this block here. So I'm not sure at this moment why it's doing that, because it's like a standard test. I just exported it without any change. Yeah, just one change. I removed the dollar, the double dollar, made it $1, and then yeah, it was not able to run it. So, but cool if this could be fixed, but I'm not sure why it's happening like this. But yeah, see it like this. It's a great project. Test project is a great project to get started with automating your tests and start delivering value early on in your sprint. You don't have to have any coding experience. So it's true cross-platform, meaning Windows, Mac and Linux are supported. You have like this agent. You can deploy agents wherever you want, right? So on every place inside your project. And I think it does make use of like port 8585. So you need to have like that one open. But for the rest, it's very easy to get started. And great job, guys. And I hope to revisit this project and start using it in my own projects. And I think that's it. Let me just summarize in the next part. And yeah, see you next time. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. So to the developers of the test projects, a very interesting project. Keep up the good work, and I hope to revisit the project maybe in a follow-up video or something like that. I'm also keen to use it in my own projects, to be honest, so very interesting. And yeah, that's it for now. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done it already, and see you next time. Bye bye.